2014. Thank you for the warm reception as well. Now, what lies ahead is a function of everything up to and including what you've left behind. By this I mean, if we lack historical context in a given situation, it becomes extraordinarily difficult to conceive and forecast what the future might hold. So allow me to congratulate each of you on establishing a solid legacy that paves the way to a brighter future for yourselves, your family, and by extension, society at large. So go ahead and give yourselves a round of applause. So up until now, you've had to grapple with abstract economic concepts like exogenous variables and endogenous variables, and what that may mean for your economic models. But let's set that technical argot aside, and instead think back to the very first day you arrived at Albany's campus, when you first spied the towers on the quads, when you first sat beside the fountain on the podium on a spring day, or the chime of the needle from a far-off distance. As you reflect on those moments, do you remember the emotions in your head and in your heart? I'm sure many of you were optimistic about what was about to take place here on Albany's campus. But then maybe a few of you were a little bit more pessimistic. But nonetheless, whether you were pessimistic or optimistic, for you to be present here today, this afternoon, means you dug in with a steely resolve, which has culminated into your graduation. The finish line, or is it? The world beyond Albany has the propensity to be a scary place, especially if we fixate on all the terrible news out there, like the anemic recovery from the Great Recession and other types of turmoil, both international and domestic. But it's in these moments that we should take solace in a quote from President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's 1933 inaugural address. "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." I mean, we've all experienced some level of fear, anxiety, or uncertainty at some stages in our lives. Perhaps these emotions began to creep in like some super sure-footed supervillain prepared to debunk your preparation for big exams while trying to research for a term paper. Or maybe when you were about to stand up at the podium to give a presentation. I mean, I've been trying to recall Roosevelt's speech ever since I stood up here. But for you to bear the honor of wearing that regalia today says to me and the world that you have succeeded despite those distractions. What else should warm your heart the most about being here today is that you are now part of a special club. A club that counts amongst its ranks alumni that came before you and worked at esteemed institutions such as the World Bank, the IMF, or International Monetary Fund, the Governmental Accountability Office, or GAO, in Washington, and the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, just to name a few. But now you'll be going out into the world and joining our cohort, bringing with you new and fresh perspectives to leave your own unique marks on the professional world. Now, whether you're already working, have lined up a job after graduation, or still in the hunt, you must do your absolute best to resist becoming jaded and cynical. There's a lot of apathy out there. But as long as you do your part and trust that others will do theirs, then we will all be a lot better off in the long run, because we've got to start somewhere. So as you go off to embark on your own unique journeys, please take with you this one incontrovertible point. No one is perfect, and we all, at some point or another, make mistakes. You've probably heard this before and thought, yeah, I know that. But I want you to know it when your boss returns a report to you covered in the proverbial red ink. I want you to know it when your evaluation isn't as rosy as you expected it to be. I want you to especially know it when you're sitting at an interview and you left a copy of your resume at home. We must not allow minor setbacks to derail a lifetime of opportunity. Rather than sulk and let the negativity sap your spirit, remember that you are not the first and certainly will not be the last to have glanced over at the precipice of failure and not had some vertigo. Now, I'm not saying this to give license to recklessness in life, but rather to remind you that if you make a mistake, that it's not the end of the world. Rather, you should go out and do your best to recast it as an opportunity to learn and to grow. Now, throughout my relatively short career, I've observed a strong positive correlation between the wisdom one has attained through trial by fire experiences and their subsequent level of accomplishment. Essentially, I have concluded that if you can master the art of confronting and adapting to life's many challenges, then there's a good chance that you may give off the mistaken impression that success is effortless or comes easily. The reality, though, is that true success takes a lot of effort and hard work. It was Andrew Carnegie who said, anything in life worth having is worth working for. Truest words ever spoken well over a century ago, still true today. I encourage each of you to set out on a personal quest of personal enrichment, because the learning shouldn't stop just because you got a degree. Instead, let your thirst for knowledge and entertainment fill in your weaker areas. If you find that you are great with numbers, then work to strengthen your writing. If you're a fabulous writer, then work on your math skills. Basically, complement your strengths and strive to become more balanced. As you continue to steep yourself in knowledge beyond your degree, your view of the world will be like the clouds parting on an otherwise sunny day. Once again, we must not let fear prevent us from trying to raise the bar on what we think we can do. We must continue to push and challenge ourselves to grow wiser and smarter. Is it not better to have tried and failed than to have never tried at all? What if fear had prevented Steve Jobs from befriending Ronald Wayne and Steve Wozniak? Then Apple would just be a fruit. Fear didn't stop Zuckerberg from founding Facebook, probably to the chagrin of the Winklevoss twins, but I'm pretty sure you saw that movie. The point here is that these two examples, while born of the booming technological revolution we're experiencing, can be applied to just about any industry you can imagine, where a person or group of people sensed an opportunity and pursued it tenaciously. Now, it will become increasingly important as you get older to remain surrounded by people who challenge you to keep improving yourselves. Most of you will be able to seek the counsel of your friends and your family, your teachers, many of the folks that have come to support you today. However, what if one day you discover that no one seems to have the sage advice they once did? What do you do when you're at that crescendo and others just can't seem to hear the music? It's in those instances that you should remember there are whole biographies written for and by successful people, chronicling the lives that they lived, where those kernels of wisdom are just waiting to jump off the page, practically ready for incorporation into your own world. So in your spare time, I highly recommend reading up on the lives of remarkable people, because your own crescendos are only starting to build. In closing, I'd like to impress upon you the following 3 life lessons that have served me well on my journey thus far. Number 1, be tenacious in striving for your goals, but remember to show humility and respect along the way. 2, if you don't feel challenged, then you're probably not growing at your full potential. Look around and find out what else you could be doing to raise the bar on the challenge level a bit. Last but not least, mistakes are inevitable, but it's what you choose to do with that teachable moment that will serve to make you a bit wiser and not just a bit older. So congratulations to you again, class of 2014, on your achievement, and best of luck to you in all your future endeavors. Thank you.